the collector of almost. There's a little antique shop tucked between a laundromat and a locksmith on 9th Street. No name on the awning. Just a window display full of random stuff. A melted clock, a cracked helmet, a rusted fire extinguisher. I walked in because I was killing time. That's all. I didn't even plan on buying anything. But the guy behind the counter looked up and smiled like he'd been expecting me. "Looking for anything in particular?" he asked. "Just browsing," I said. He nodded. "Take your time. Everything in here has a story." He wasn't lying. There was a framed picture of a stairwell. Just a stairwell. But he told me it was from a building that collapsed during an earthquake. The only thing left standing. A child's car seat, slightly melted on one side. Pulled it out before the crash. Seconds before. A fire alarm, wires exposed. Never went off. Battery was dead. By the time they noticed, the kitchen was gone. It was weird, sure, but the way he said it, it didn't feel morbid. It felt reverent. "These are all things that almost saved someone?" I asked. He smiled. "Exactly. I only collect almosts, things that nearly did the job." I picked up a doorknob, charred around the edges. "That one?" he said. "Emergency exit. They got within 10 feet. I put it down. I should have left, but I didn't. Something about the place felt sticky. Not physically, just in the way it clung to your thoughts. He showed me more. A hospital bracelet. Still had a name on it, though the ink was fading. They were discharged too early. Insurance issue. Made it halfway home. A photo album. All the pictures water damaged, except one. A man standing on a beach, smiling. Changed his flight last minute. The one he skipped went down. "Wait, that's a good thing," I said. He shook his head. "Next flight. Mechanical failure. Nobody walked away." That was when I asked him why he collected all this. He said, "Because I want to remember the moment right before. That invisible breath between being here and being gone." Isn't that kind of depressing? He looked at me. Really looked. Or maybe it's the most honest moment in the world. I didn't know what to say. Then he asked, "Do you have an almost?" I shrugged. "Don't we all?" He nodded. "Maybe, but some are stronger than others. Some are still echoing." That's when I started to feel lightheaded. Not dizzy exactly. Just off. "You all right?" he asked. "Yeah," I said, though my voice didn't sound like mine. He walked to the back and came back with a photograph. Burned edges. Room collapsed inward. "Recognize this?" he asked. I looked closer. It was my apartment. Or something that looked a lot like it. In the photo, a figure was slumped in a chair, half obscured by smoke and shadow. I leaned in. It was me. Same hoodie. Same posture. But I don't remember that photo being taken. "That's your almost," he said quietly. "You stayed too long. The fire spread fast. But somehow you're still here." "No," I said. "I left. I made it out." He tilted his head. "Sure about that?" My phone buzzed. No signal. Time. 12:13 a.m. The same time the fire report listed as fatal. "You're not the first," he said. "Sometimes people bring their own almost with them. They think they escaped it, but it still clings." I backed toward the door. But it wasn't there. The shop was darker now. Silent. Only the display cases glowed, softly lit. "Can I go?" I asked. He smiled. "You're welcome to stay, or I can hold your almost for you. It's easier that way." I don't remember saying yes, but I woke up on the sidewalk outside. The shop was gone. No storefront, no window, just the laundromat and the locksmith. But in my jacket pocket was a photograph. Burned edges. Me, still sitting in the chair, staring at the flames coming through the wall. The deja vu that wasn't yours. It started the day I moved in. Nothing huge, just a weird, quiet feeling when I stepped out of the moving truck and looked down the street. I'd never been to this town before. Didn't know anyone here, but I felt something like nostalgia. Like I'd come back to a place I couldn't name. I figured it was stress. Moving sucks. That first night in a new apartment, everything smells off. Every creak sounds like it's got teeth. So yeah, I wrote it off. But the feeling didn't go away. Next morning I walked to the corner store and passed this little park. And as soon as I saw the swings, I got hit with this sudden wave. This sharp, chest-level jolt like I'd been there before. Like I knew exactly how the swing chains felt when they pinched your palms. Like I remembered pushing someone in a red jacket. Except I'd never been there. No red jacket. No memory. Just the feeling. Next few days, more of that. Street names sounding familiar. A coffee shop I was sure I'd seen before. I even said out loud, "Didn't this place used to have blue chairs?" The barista blinked. "Yeah, like 5 years ago? How'd you know that?" I didn't have an answer. And then a woman on the sidewalk waved at me. "Hey, you're back." "Sorry? It's me. Claire. We used to hang out at the old record store. You don't remember?" I stared. She looked familiar, but only in the way strangers sometimes do. "I think you've got me mixed up with someone else." She laughed. Same dry humor. You always said that. That night, I looked through old community forums, event archives, anything that might explain it. Then I found a post from 3 years ago. Missing person, Jason Corwin, mid-20s, lived in this exact neighborhood. Went out for a walk, never came back. The photo stopped me. Not because he looked like me. He didn't. But the clothes, the red jacket, the jeans with the frayed cuff, I saw them in my head before the picture loaded. And the more I read about him, the worse it got. Jason liked the same music I did. Same odd hobbies. Even had a cat with the same name mine had growing up. Pepper. I went to the library and asked if they had anything on his case. The clerk was hesitant, but eventually brought out a box labeled Local Incidents, 2020. Inside was a folder with Jason's name on it. Photos, timelines, personal notes, and a few photocopied pages from his journal. One entry stopped me cold. There's something wrong with my head. I keep having memories that aren't mine. Places I've never been feel familiar. People call me by the wrong name. But I answer. I don't know who's in here with me, but they're not leaving. The handwriting was uneven. Panicked. I copied the entry word for word and went home. And then I started hearing the whispers. Not real words. Just echoes. Feelings. Like someone thinking too loudly next to me. I remember this. Don't go down that street. She always got the vanilla one. Things I couldn't know, but I knew them. One night, I stood outside the park. Same swing set, same red jacket feeling, and I caught my reflection in the glass of a parked car. Just for a second. It wasn't my face. It was his, Jason's, and he looked calm. I haven't seen Claire since. No one else has called me by his name. The deja vu's fading. Slowly. But sometimes when I'm tired, I feel someone else breathing with me. Like I'm borrowing space. Or maybe he is. Whose dream was that? You know that weird moment when you wake up and can't quite tell if something happened in real life or just in a dream. like you're still holding on to both versions of the world, trying to figure out which one fits better. That's how it started for me. Except it wasn't just a moment. It kept happening. Every single night. At first, the dreams were just odd, familiar but wrong, like my family was almost my family. My dad looked different, not in a surreal, melted face dream way, but like someone else entirely. Clean cut, black hair, square jaw, nothing like the man I grew up with. My sister, well, the dream version of her, had a different birthday. She said it was June 3rd. But in real life, my sister's birthday is in October. I remember because we always celebrated with pumpkin pie instead of cake. I figured it was just my brain doing dream stuff, filling in gaps, messing around. That's what dreams do, right? But they didn't stop. And they weren't random. The same people, the same house, the same conversations. It was like I had a second life when I slept. And that second life started to bleed through. One morning, I woke up with this weird feeling in my wrist. Not pain exactly, but pressure. I looked down, and there it was. A thin, beaded bracelet. Nothing fancy, wooden beads, some blue stones, a little metal charm. But I knew it. Because in the dream the night before, the other version of my sister gave it to me. She said, "I made it for you, so you don't forget." I stared at it for a long time. I didn't own anything like that. I hadn't gone anywhere. I didn't even remember falling asleep with anything on. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe I bought it and forgot. Maybe I was sleep shopping online. But it didn't feel like something I picked. It felt given. Then I opened my drawer. There was a photo album in there, one I didn't recognize, cheap plastic cover, no label. I flipped it open. Family pictures. But not my family. Not exactly. The man who wasn't my father. The sister with the June birthday. A woman I'd never seen, but who felt like my mother. In the pictures, I was there too, smiling, younger, holding a sparkler, wearing that same bracelet. I shut it and put it back in the drawer, and I didn't touch it for days. But every night, I went back. Same house. Same people. Like I was visiting, or being pulled back. I started avoiding sleep. Staying up late, drinking coffee, watching terrible late-night TV. Anything to stay awake. But when I finally crashed, there they were. Welcoming, familiar, home. That's what it felt like. Home. And that made me feel guilty. I have a real family. A real sister who doesn't deserve to be replaced in my head. A real dad who, okay, maybe not perfect, but he's mine. So I tried to stop thinking about it. Then came the night they asked me to stay. My dream sister held my hand and said, "You don't have to go back, not if you don't want to." It was so tempting. I woke up crying, and I didn't know why. I just missed them. And the weirdest part? Things in the real world started slipping. I called my real sister by the wrong name. Forgot my dad's birthday. My mom said I seemed distant, not myself. Maybe because I wasn't. I don't know when it fully switched. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe I'm still flipping between them. But I keep the bracelet on now. Every day. Just in case she was right. So I don't forget.